The way that we've understood technology addiction now, it is neurophysiologically, it affects the brain in the exact same way that substance addiction does. So when you look at brain imaging research of cocaine and heroin addiction, you look at side-by-side brain imaging, MRI, fMRI research of technology addiction, it affects the prefrontal cortex, the part of our brain that controls impulsivity and executive functioning in exactly the way substance addiction. So neurophysiologically, technology addiction mirrors substance addiction. Clinically, it mirrors substance addiction because it meets all the same diagnostic clinical criteria. So what that looks like is a person engages in a substance or behavior in a way that is entirely destructive to their lives, and they continue to engage in that behavior or that substance use. We're seeing record levels of anxiety, depression, suicide, overdose. And I think all of those things are exacerbated and impacted by our digital immersion. Because the two things that technology does that are the most impactful to our mental health is that number one, it makes us more sedentary. So we're sitting in front of a computer screen, which is not the way human beings were meant to live. We weren't meant to be sedentary, screen staring, isolated humans. And that's the other part, the isolation piece. Technology is taking away from face-to-face community. And those two things, physical movement and community, are necessary for our psychological well-being. The people that are most susceptible to falling into tech addiction are obviously people that already have pre-existing mental health issues. So if you're already predisposed towards anxiety or depression, you're going to want to escape through digital immersion. A lot of tech addiction, whether it's gaming or social media, is about escapism. So if you're a young person who feels depressed and don't feel good about the direction of your life, and you could create a digital avatar and create a fantasy reality for yourself, you're going to be much more vulnerable towards that. We find that young men on the spectrum who have any kind of autism issues are more vulnerable as well because of their tendency to perseverate and to fall into these types of escapist patterns. People that are suffering from emotional pain, psychological pain, trauma, people that just don't love their lives and can create an alternate reality. Traditionally, substance abuse used to be about numbing. I'm numbing my emotional pain or my trauma, and I'm escaping some of it. Now, with digital addiction, I'm not just numbing it, I'm creating an alternate, more appealing reality. Rather than just deadening my senses, I'm now creating avatars and worlds of reality that may be more appealing to me than my day-to-day reality. So those folks may be more vulnerable to falling down the digital rabbit hole. So all the research shows that the longer a person is tethered to a treatment program, the better the long-term outcomes. So the more a person can stay connected to a support system, a therapeutic support system, the better the likelihood of long-term recovery. The ideal golden formula is you go to intensive clinical services, you do that for a period of a few weeks. Our program is 8 weeks. You step down then to an IOP program, which can last for anywhere from another 2 months to 6 months. Treatment here it involves quite a bit of physical activity because we know that physical activity is antidepressant. It raises serotonin levels, it oxygenates the brain. We know that doing physical activity in a group is a double plus. It's a win-win because it combines physical activity with socialization, because we know socialization is an important dynamic. And then we also combine a lot of nature immersion because we know nature immersion is a curative to being disconnected and plugged in for too long. We're not meant to be non-nature connected. It's fun, it's raising serotonin levels, it's creating community, and the final dynamic, I would say, is a sense of accomplishment. So if somebody in our program does a ropes course or takes a hike or goes kayaking, and these are things that they've never done before or never completed before, a lot of our clients have a sense of I can't do this, I haven't done this, because they've been locked in the basement or the metaphorical basement for God knows how long. So accomplishing something feels good. I can do this. We want to engender in our clients a sense of, yes, I can accomplish this. Now I can go back to school and be successful. I can be successful at work because I finished this 2-hour hike. I completed this kayak trip that I didn't think I can do. So these are all the different dynamics that are really important in our treatment process.